This is the Custom Beat Show. You already know what it is. Like, subscribe, and share. We're up in here. Forgive the creaky creaky business going on up in here. Just trying to get this set up so I can see y'all good. You know what I'm saying? Much love, everybody, on a Thursday morning. I normally don't come on Thursday mornings, but today's an exception to the rule. We're just gonna, tap in and see if we can get something accomplished this morning. Y'all can see what I normally do when you don't see me out and about, or whatever the case may be, however you want to take that. But yeah, gonna get into some cool production this morning. You guys are along for the ride. You know what I'm saying? You guys are along for the ride, and we're gonna get into some cool stuff this morning. Of course, this is MPC Key 37, and that down below is the MPC3 software. I did update it to the 3.6 for those who are down with the movement. I just got the Key 37 about a week ago. However, we have one at the Crate Collective up here in the area. So I had a leg up from utilizing and learning the workflow on this prior to getting one. But what we're working on this morning is a little something. I don't know if this may be in a future show or not, but this particular sample right here is from TrackLib. It's for all the producers out there that want to sample and have the ability to clear the samples. I suggest you go get yourself an account with TrackLib, pay for it by the month. You can sample until you're blue in the face. And then if the need comes to release, you can do the proper splits through TrackLib and get a clearance on this sample. So that's what we got going on this morning. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate this. Y'all can hear what this sounds like first. Okay, so you guys kind of like get an idea what that's doing. We're gonna time stretch it first. I always like to do some time stretching. We'll bring this up so you can see what that is. This is time stretching. I'm basically I know the tempo of the sample is 140. How do I know? Because when I look over here on the right, it tells me that it's 140. So we may keep it at that tempo. I think I like that tempo. But we're time stretching so we can do some pitch shifting. Pitch. So we're going to get into it here. And now it's time stretched. Now this is stretched to the time. So I'm going to make sure that my BPMs here is 140. And our bar length is 8 bars. Okay. So we got 8 bars of that. But and we can start. I could have put this on any pad I wanted to put it on. I just put it on the pad that I wanted to put it on. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And so what's going on? What's going on? Simply, you already know what it is, man. Just up early, getting a thought in before I get the other work in for the day. You already know. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I did a time stretch here on this sample. And I got it on pad 5, so I know where it's at. However, I could do more things to it before I even start using it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the chop function. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to do that first. I'm going to pitch it. So over here on the MPC, the nice thing about it over here is I can actually pitch shift it from here. I can just touch it here on the screen, and then I can raise the pitch and you'll see it going up. That's one. We're going to do two and hit do it. All right, so then that switched the pitch of the sample. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this mode right here. This is chopping. Y'all wonder how I be chopping samples. This is how I'm doing it. You know, some people like to hold their sauce and be all gatekeepy with the sauce holding and stuff like that. Like, I consider that a fear. Like, that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a fear. Gotta stop holding on to stuff, man. You know what I mean? Like, stop holding on to it. At some point, you gotta let somebody else be great too, man. So, I was trying to chop that via BPM. I don't think that that's what I want to do now. I mean, that's kind of like accurate right there. So let's see what that did. Didn't really like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to undo. I'm just going to hit the undo button. See, the nice thing is I can hit it here. That's why it's good to have a hardware that goes with this stuff, because you can just hit the undo button. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to undo it, undo it, undo it, undo it, undo it until I really can get back to where I was when I started, which is right about there. Oh, let's do the redo, because I think so if I hold down shift and I hit redo, that'll put me back here. Right. Okay. So now that I know that that's not really doing it, let's see if we can go to a region, hidden by regions. Regions didn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad, but it's not. Nope, not what it is. Another place you can undo your work is you can hit file and edit and then undo. All right, so we're going to go to threshold. Interesting how it cuts it where it does when it's reading these things. But I think the best route for me is manual. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to stay on manual. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create these cuts myself. So I know where the next one starts. I know where the next one starts. Here, let's bring it up so you can see this better. But yeah, I know where this one starts. So because I'm just reading along. So if I play sample. Good morning, Freya. See, I knew it was right there. As you can see, I knew it was right there. So I'm gonna hit the first slice right here, but I'm gonna bring it all the way back, and then I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna do it again. Right, I like that. I like that. That's a nice little joint. But I want to be able to use, and you see me, I just zoomed in and I'm just getting it tight right to where the downbeat of the sample is, right there. Okay, so that's there. So I have one and then I have two. So now you can see down here below, I made two slices. Those are two slices, and that's the beginning of what you call chopping a sample. Chopping a sample starts like this. Now I can get more intricate with it from here. Yes, I can. I could start to cut it up more if I want to. I could have manually did this too, which sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. Now I'll show you how manual works. So I'm just gonna keep undoing. I'm gonna undo my chop. Now I'm back to where I was when I first started. So instead of chopping it that way, all I got to do is I can go here on the MPC and I could just start touching the pads from the very beginning one because it's at the start. And then I could just keep going up the ladder. So you'll see what I mean. Okay, I was at the wrong position. Didn't mean to do that. Let's undo that. We gotta take this back, this cursor back to the top. Okay, so we're back to the top. Now I'm gonna start from the beginning again. And you see it's adding my chops. Nice. Nice. So there we go. Now, show you again. Minaj versus Chapman case. Okay. All righty then. Oddly enough, we're learning sampling this week in classes. Yep, classes in session today. Show you guys how I'm doing this, So now what I'm doing is I'm zooming in, Grand Rising Rain. I'm zooming in and I'm inspecting these for accuracy because I want these to be pretty accurate. So I will zoom in far. You know what I mean? So I could see I might want it here instead of there. You know what I mean? Because that looks like that might be the beginning of the downbeat. That one's slightly behind the downbeat. So I'm going to make it accurate. Same thing with all of these. Make them all accurate when I don't see it at the downbeat. So that way, when it hits right when I'm hitting it on the pad. And that's why I like to do manual sometimes, because manual sometimes get you there a lot. See, what up? Yeah, manual will get you right at the, no cutting corners, basically. Don't cut the corners. Make sure that these are accurate. Make sure these are accurate to your liking. You know what I'm saying? Very accurate. The more accurate you are here, the more accurate your chops are going to be. Now, if you missed the time stretching part of it, go back and watch this from the beginning. So yeah, I'm looking at all my chops. They look pretty good. They look pretty good now. Now, when I zoom back out, there's all my chops. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this right here. It says new program. I'm going to create a program of my own, create new samples. Of course, I want to create new samples. So now what you'll notice is I'm going to take the chat out of the way for a quick second. Take y'all out of the way for a quick second. Now, right here, you can see in this menu right here, if I take this browser away, I can take the browser away. So if I hit that button, the file browser is gone now. Now I can see everything over here. But what happens is you start to accumulate samples over here. Just wanted to take that away so y'all can see that. See, and now these in the project, anything with this icon right here is a program. So on drum one, so if we go home here, all right, so drum one, already it put my chops already up here. This is what the new update did. That's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Or I can go back to drum one, and drum one is still just this right here by itself. Now, to avoid any confusion, just because this one is on drum one, I can even delete it from my samples list. But watch what happens. If I do this one, all I have left is my chops. Okay. So y'all can see that. Just so y'all can see that. You know what I'm saying? Bring y'all back up so we can talk some more. All right. And so here we are. Now all my chops is here. If I wanted to do it that way, I could. But I'm just gonna make these real basic, just to show you all how even the chops are. Now we got it set at 8 bars. As you can see, my bar length up here is already shaded out and highlighted. So I got 8 bars all the way across. If you can't see it, I understand. But we'll bring it back down so y'all can see me working this from the MPC, because as you can see, all the keys, the pads are all already set to that program. All right, so we're going to start it. We're going to get rid of those. Sitting at a nice level right there. And we're chopping it. These were all chops. If I wanted to, watch this. Quick little trick. Another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to adjust the velocity of these. So that's going to creep in. Let's bring these down. So that adjusts the volume individually of each MIDI note. Okay. Yeah, there it goes. The next thing I'm going to do with that sample, though, is I'm going to do a little bit of truncating. And what that is I'm just going to be adjusting the envelope here on this screen here, and it's going to take the little pop and click out of the out of the chops. Okay, so basically here, I'm gonna show you real quick. Gotta take y'all down for a second. Hold on. All right, now right here, I'm going to slightly cut the start and the end point of each one of those chops, so that way it sounds a lot smoother. Now you'll hear it now when I play it. And then I'll just make adjustments until it feels like it's chopping smooth. And this is truncating. See, it took all the taps out of there. Let's try a little bit more. See what happens. I'm gonna adjust these. Let's see what happens. Sounds real clean there. See, it cut too low. So we gotta bring this back some. You can look at it like this is the end, this is the start. There it goes. Move this in. See how it does that? There's too much truncating, so I gotta bring this back some. That sounds real clean right there. You know what I mean? And trust me, you'll the difference is going to be heard. Yeah, take notes. that's what the custom beat show is all about anyway. You know what I'm saying? It was only a matter of time before I started doing stuff like this, so y'all can see this is how this works. You can see the pads where I tapped them. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the home screen over here. I could have went home here too. It's this menu button right here. I could have just touched that. I can get into the different menus with this here. You know what I'm saying? Track mute. And then you can see right here, it track mutes it for me. So if I hit track mute, you see that? Okay. So track one is where my drums will be. Track 2 is the program. So we can go back. We're on track 1 right now, right? We go back to track 1 and we put some drums behind that. Go back to the main mode. See? Main. There we go. If I look at my drop-down menu here, I can see drum 1. Now I'm back on drum 1. You see the pads are empty? You can see that the pads are empty. So now I can go back to my browser here. Miss Shay, good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing, hon? You already know. Now I could do some cool stuff. I could do some more chopping since we're into chopping samples. I could take an old school breakbeat. No, not just MPC. Digital audio workstations are just that, digital audio workstations. These techniques, now the workflow of MPC is unique. Yeah, it is. But the same thing can be achieved in any DAW. The same thing that I'm doing here can be done in any other software. How tedious it is, I have no idea. I can't even begin to tell you. Today we're working with this. Hey, hey, writing. That's what's up. That's what's up, Dre. That's what's up. Good morning, brother. Good morning, old boy 100. Make sure y'all following Dre. You know what I'm saying? Much love, bro. But right now, we're just we're gonna get back into doing some more chopping. So here in this bank right here, I have a bunch of break beats. You'll remember these classics, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to do something that either I'm gonna time stretch or I'm just gonna take the drums out of this and create my own drum pattern. Now this is gonna be a lot of fun. So you're gonna want to pay attention to this. Check it out. All right, so I'm gonna grab one of these. You can't really see it because the chat's right there. Let's go ahead and hide you guys real quick. Okay, so there we go. We're just gonna hide you guys for a second. Let's go back here. Uh-oh. I'm sitting here trying to teach. I didn't took my doggone screen out. I'm gonna bring it back one time for one time so I can show y'all what's up. There it is. Markel, what's going on? What's going on? I think we're gonna swap these. Here we go. That's how we had it. Okay, so let's go back here one more time. And I'm going to just listen to these break beats. Y'all going to remember these. Good morning, Markel. All right, I like that. I like that. I want the drums from that. You already know. So These are the drums from that breakbeat. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody tapping in this morning, checking out this. So I want to do is I want to get the, what I want out of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually, well, matter of fact, this is where we could even try to use threshold because it'll help me grab what I want. All right, so I want that. It's too early, bro. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yes, indeed. All right, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just getting accurate. I want this snare. I want this kick. Might want that too. So I'm gonna cut it right there. See what I'm saying? So now I'm purposing this so I can put them on the pads myself. I like that. That's hitting right there. That's hitting right there. So now that I have this section highlighted, what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to put this slice to the pad. So we're on drum 1. I want it on pad A1. New sample to pad. That's what I want. I don't want to do any of these other ones. New drum track create using slices. No. I want new samples. I could do it this way, but no. I just like to do it one at a time. New sample to pad is my choice, and then I'm going to hit do it. Now that sample is on that pad. How do I know? I go back here and it's right here. Okay. Go right here and then back here again. Let's go back in our sample pool here on drum 1. Okay. Let's go to all samples real quick. There we go. Right here. So we selected it and now we're back here again. I want that on 2. So I'm going to go slice the pad. I'm going to switch that to 2. Hit do it. Now it's on pad 2. I want this, right? So I'm going to put that on 3. As long as it's highlighted, that's where it's going to go. I'm going to go right to 3. Do it. Now when I go back home, you can see all 3 of these are here. And I can make adjustments from there as we go along. This where I can do some more truncating and this, that, and the third. Let's go back to the original sample though. We're just going to highlight it here and then hit the sample edit up here at the top. I'm going to hit the sample edit. It is sample edit. And let's see if we can find a hi-hat. There's one right there. So let's tighten that up. There we go. Tighten that up. That way it can keep the original. There we go. There we go. So now we're going to go in and we're going to add that. So we're going to go to slice the pad one more time. Next pad. Boom. So now I got all the things that I wanted from the chop. I'm going to go home right here. This is drum. Now, see, I could even rename this and just call this break drum. All right. So here we are, break drum 1. Break drum 1. Now I can add this to my thing. And we're going to start with the kick and then we'll build from there, all right? So y'all can see what's going on here. Remember, we're at 8 bars. Anything over the tempo of 100 is multiplied times 2. So in musical count, this is still 4 bars, even though it says 8, if that makes sense. All right, so here we go. Oh yeah, that sounds pretty good. You already know, brother Mark. Yeah. Now, I have that in there, you know what I'm saying? And the thing about that, yeah, Sel, what up, though? Thank you. Yeah, a little morning cook up. That's all. Something light, man. And educating at the same time, showing people how we get down with this type of technology and shit. And yeah, because that's what we do, man. You know, this is just how it goes. And just notice, I have all my drums on one track here. That's just one track. That's just one track. So all my drums are on one track. And that's the nice thing about it. So my sample is still here. That's still my sample, you know, chopped up. All these are chopped. And then I have another track that's my break drums. So there we go. Boom. So there it is. And I cut all those drum elements up from a break beat. And so you could do that. So now the next track I'm going to use, I'm going to hit the plus sign here on the software. Make it bigger so y'all can see that. All right, so I'm hit the plus sign here. And this works on MPC Beats or the full version of MPC or the latest update of MPC, which I'm using right now. Okay. But the plus button is right here. You can see it where my mouse is. It's right here. You hit the plus button. What kind of track do I want to create? This time I'm going to use a plugin. And of course, let's go ahead and utilize my plugin. Okay. Where is it, Pat? Here it is. That is my instrument. You can go purchase this thing on custombeatking.com. And it's very powerful and useful. Just so you know, there's 25 original sounds in this thing. I created it myself. There's 808s, which we're going to try to mess with this. I'm going to mess with the 808. So. All right, let's get that down. Okay, so I think that's going to do it. Yep, I like that. I think that's going to work. So boom, 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 boom. All right, we're going to play that all the way through. I'm going to delete that. We're just going to go back in. We're going to play again. Yep, that's the one. All right, here we go from the top one more time. Yep. There it is. There it is. That's the one. Okay. Had to get my notes right. Apologize about that. Let's do it again. All right. Again. We're going to adjust these two notes right here. And you can do all your edits and stuff like that. Right. Right, Mellow Man. It's a little off right there. Inspecting the notes for accuracy is important. Of course, that came off the sound box. Let's add a little compression. Nice thing about my instrument is you have a compressor built onto it. You can put reverb, chorus on any of the sounds. Oh yeah, for sure. And as you can see, that 808 sounds nice in there. I took the time out to make these instruments, these sounds in the instrument. Yeah, the piano roll style is cool, especially for those who are understanding MIDI in this day and age. You know, understanding the piano roll is important. And as you can see, it exists in every software. This piano roll exists damn near in every software. You can find this screen. And these are MIDI notes. MIDI notes. These are all MIDI notes. In other words, if I wanted to change this sound, it'll be whatever sound I want it to be. And it'll play it in that key. I can switch the bass up from my instrument to a whole nother instrument, and it'll still play because these are the MIDI notes. That's when you're, playing. You can also play by the pads here too. On the MPC, you can play by the pads or you can play by the keys. That's why I got this board, because I'm about to start doing live performances, and this was necessary to have. Some people that don't understand the music business, they're like, "Oh, that's a nice toy." I said, "Shit. This ain't no toy, especially running about $1,000 for one of these. Oh no, it ain't no toy. This is a tool." All right, that's what's up. Education is on the rise. Yeah, that is possible, Podge. You can change the MIDI to something else in real time and change it back fluently with this, definitely. See, I can copy this. You know what I'm saying? I can copy this phrase, or I can duplicate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can take these notes, edit, copy, go to a new plugin track, paste. So if I wanted to go back and forth, Podge, and I just added the basic sound of this plugin right here. This is the tube synth that comes with this. I can switch this to whatever. All right, so here's how I would switch it back and forth. Yeah, actually, that is an old school sample. That is the piano part. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could add Barry. I could add whatever on top of this. I would do the same process. I would time stretch Barry. I would pitch shift it to where it musically matches the melody here, the melody, and then I would just add him on top. Absolutely. But you can time stretch anything in this. You could alter samples in various ways in this. But real quickly, getting back to that, so that's like a pad synth, right? And Podge, this is how I would go back and forth with that. Like, say if I'm on stage and I want to go back and forth, I would go to track mute. Okay. So let's go back and forth between the bass, which we didn't name, 808. Okay. So now down here in my list here, and as you can see, they're color coordinated here too. I can take in and out. Kobena, what's going on? What's going on? In the cut, blunt conversations, what's going on? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So the keys, yeah, I'm a big Barry White. You know, he's one of my musical mentors. I'm gonna tell you that. Yes, indeed. Kobena the Great, the GOAT, is in the building. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But yeah, so now it'll be real simple, Podge. I'm just gonna go back and forth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the synthesizer out right now, and I'm just gonna switch. Real simple. You see, I'm back and forth that quick. right, let's drop the synth part. Yes, the Love Unlimited Orchestra, one of my favorites. I get them frequently. Let's cut the drum right here. Top part. Now say I wanted to play live over that. I'm just gonna add another plugin. This time we're gonna use one of my favorites in MPC. It's called Hype. This is Hype. Hello, Hype. And I'm gonna find a lead. You know what I mean? I could be just live playing like that. Been sitting in front of this shit for a long time, Brother Mark. Hey, that sound is cracked, Misery, yeah. Get the sound bar hooked up, get the sound bar hooked up. Appreciate y'all. Switch your sound, you know? Let's see what other... That's nice. You know what I mean? I could take the pads and make chords. You know what I mean? Whatever. Right now we just playing around. So let's add some piano. Let's just get a basic piano. Let's bring that up so you can hear that better. Oh yeah, that first one was definitely nice. Back over here to the leads. Knocked it up. Yeah, so playing, doing whatever you want to do. Yeah, man. Yeah. Last but not least, and this is something I normally do before this point, but the last thing I'm going to do for y'all, which I normally do for myself beforehand, is I save this project. I always hit save as because I go to a certain directory in my hard drive. There's a bunch of beats in here. And I go to the appropriate folder, the pen and the pad. Right on, right on, right on. So pen and pad, just so you know, this is how we save it, and then it automatically saves. And then I got the program. Right. And that's just the nice thing about this is you can do live stuff, Mark, in real time. You know what I'm saying? Press play. I just got back. No problem, man. No problem. We're gonna mute out these and let the sample play. You know what I mean? Well, we gonna get that right now. Quell, right? Yeah. Hey, gotta get the cobwebs out. You gotta remember, man. You see what you calling me, right? Unk. Subwoofers on the way. Yes, rain. Yes, yes. And once again, the sample came from TrackLib. So uh, go get you an account with TrackLib so you can clear samples. Don't play around with samples. Go to a place where you can actually go and clear the samples. They have that ability now. Back in the day, you were just stuck. You just did it for the love. You just sampled because you were doing it for the love. But now they got a platform where you can, it's like a virtual record store. You can go there and you can pluck anything out of there and you can use it in your own composition and you can clear it. You can clear samples now. There is no, oh, you be worried about this. No, 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 no. Go to tracklib.com. I am not endorsed by TrackLib, but go to TrackLib and get you some samples and start playing around with them. Splice, yeah, they do clear. I do that. I use Cymatics actually. I don't use Splice. Yeah, the sample is definitely fire. You know what I mean? And this is stuff that I was just digging around. Tracklib.com. We'll put it in. We'll put it in the chat real quick. We will put it in the chat. Yeah, TrackLib is the place to go though, bro. I mean, we went to the record store, right? But this is my record store now because it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. It really doesn't. Tracklib.com. You see it? Go to tracklib.com. The hyperlink is right there. And you can. Oh, I got Cymatics too. I mean, and I use Cymatics mainly for the one shots, not necessarily the loops. But as you can see, I like to chop. So I will cut loops. I will cut up anything. I'll cut up a sound effect or ambiance. Whatever you can get your hands on, a finger snapping, or you know what I'm saying, or you can blow into the microphone, do something like that, and just have a sound right there. That's a sound. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, you can see the power of having one of these. If you're really serious about music production, I suggest you get you an MPC or whatever you would like to use. I mean, you can use whatever you want. Like we have Machine at certain studios here. We got MPC definitely at pretty much all the studios because that's what I use. You know what I mean? That's exactly what I've been using these for a long time though. Sampling drum machines even before this technology was available. Like this can operate by itself. I don't even need that down there. I don't need the software. You know what I'm saying? That software there, I don't need that. I can just use this by itself. Now, is the workflow slightly different when you're using the tablet in here as opposed to that? Sure. But they coincide and work together when they're connected. So when I'm in the studio, what kind of sense would it make for me to just use this alone? And this came with it. You got to use the software because if you understand MPC workflow, what they did with this software is revolutionary. It's no shade to the other companies. It's just what they did for music production, as you can see, is off the charts, and your level of creativity can be high anytime. Yeah, you got to see what they're on, man. I got to learn all this stuff first. Yeah, yep. That's okay. That's okay, man. We start at the bottom and move our way up. Y'all gotta understand, I've been doing this for over 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm embracing this new technology like a mug because I remember how tedious it was all them years ago. It was way more difficult to get a good sound and good quality and this, that, and the third, and to afford one of these. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is $1,000. Back in the day, if this existed back, like say maybe 15 or so odd years ago, this board would easily be like $4,000, $5,000. So not only are in this era are you getting a super discount, but they're loading you up with stuff to make you as creative as possible. And all you have to do is use your creativity, learn the basics of what this stuff does, and then go in from there and build yourself. It takes time, but being around people like myself who've been around for 30 some odd years and see how the ease of use of this is and being able to use it easily, you can you can really do a lot of stuff. You can do a whole bunch. You can do a whole bunch. You don't have to do what everybody else does. I would suggest you try your own formula, be your own person. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed. But you love samples, Quell. All you got to do is go to TrackLib, find some samples. You can shoot them to Unc and say, hey, Unc, I found something. And we get to work on it. And then we can clear the sample and we can do the paperwork and do all the stuff the right way. Paperwork, important. That's priority. This doesn't exist without paperwork. But being able to do this stuff effectively for money, you got to learn your paperwork. You got to learn it. We're in the active business of learning it because it's changing all the time. This is not the same music business that existed 20 years ago or 10 years ago or last year, to be honest with you. So things are changing all the time. You know, everything's changing. So you got to stay with the times and you got to stay with the know of what today's business is. There's a lot to absorb and there's not a lot of help. They kind of got you out here on your own doing this. So you got a lot to learn. Distribution, but most importantly, performance rights organizations. That is ASCAP.com, BMI.com. Okay. ASCAP is what I recommend. So I'm going to put ASCAP's link in there. No disrespect to BMI, but go here and sign up. Sign up, sign up, sign up as a writer and a publisher. As a writer and a publisher, get your stuff straight. It's free right now. So I would jump on it today. You know what I'm saying? You got to do your verification. You know what I'm saying? Have your ID. If you do it from your phone, it might be a little bit easier because then you can go ahead. You got BMI, that's fine. BMI is cool. You know what I'm saying? As long as you have the writer and the publisher account with those entities, it don't matter if it's BMI or ASCAP. Just as long as you have one of them, you know, that's all you need. You need that. That's part of protecting your music. That is one of the main things. Yeah, you got to get with it because performance royalties are something that you're missing out on. Being able to protect your music fully is something that you got to work on. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't own the rights to, not the rights to, if you don't have exclusive rights, let me say that correctly. If you do not have exclusive rights from a producer to release music over their beats, there's not much you can do with that until you reach out with the producer, negotiate, get the splits correct. Gotta have it. It's most important. It's one of the other forms of copyright. You don't copyright your beats. Beats are already copywritten based off of the watermark. Whatever watermark exists on a file and your computer is your proof of copyright on that part. That's a master file. That's a master file. Okay. So everything I got sitting on my hard drive is a master file. So the copyright is already there. Yes. Yes. Very important. The other part of the copyright is your ASCAP or your BMI. Registering your music is critical. And then when you release the music on the platforms, it creates this thing called an ISRC code. The ISRC code is what you would take and you will put it back into your publishing once you register the song, once you release it on the platform. You know what I'm saying? TrackLib has a very intelligent thing too. They go ahead and they'll what you call it? They got it set up in there. There's a portal in there to set it up to where you can get the splits correct with the person that actually you sampled from, and they can get their percentage. You don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? They get their percentage for clearing the sample. Um, you get your percentage, and that's how it works. And you got to just only thing you got to do with TrackLib is you got to do 2 times a year. You got to report revenue. If you report the revenue, even if it didn't make anything, you still report it anyway. That keeps the sample cleared. Right. Well, likeness and things of that nature, that's called trademarking, Quell. Trademark. When your likeness, you want to trademark your likeness. You know what I'm saying? Your sound of your bars, yeah, that's publishing. Publishing and master files. Publishing and master files is the way to go with that. You know what I'm saying? Publishing and master files. You get both of those, you're in the house. You know what I'm saying? And that works with when you build good relationships with producers, with engineers, because people don't realize engineers really are supposed to be included in the paperwork as well. Everybody that's involved in making a record is supposed to be included in the paperwork. But if people fail to act upon that side of it, show no sympathy, register the songs anyway, because you can't put anything out without it being registered. If those people don't have their stuff, there's nothing that you can do for them. You still register the song and you put it out and you move forward anyway. That's just my advice. Right. Trademarking. It's a you can trademark in different ways. You can put a copyright on your name as well. You can. Yes, you can. Um, you can copyright your logo, that is. You know what I'm saying? You can copyright a logo, trademark a logo. You know what I'm saying? Trademarking is where is what I recommend looking into first. Trademarking the logo if you have a logo, uh, those type of things. So yeah, make sure you do that stuff. Make sure you do that stuff. The seasons is changing. Got my allergies kicking in. God damn, crazy. But feeling healthy though. I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Actually, about to get a workout in today. Yes, indeed. Make sure you're exercising your body as well as your mind too, because we sit down a lot. Yeah, well, yeah, you got to go ahead and look into trademarking the logos. If you want to trademark your name, hey, I'm gonna highly recommend you do so. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's very important. Or make sure you're verified as who you are. Um, I search engine optimized myself too. You know what I'm saying? I went to Google and I officially search engine optimized myself. My website gives you the ability to do that as well. Bandzoogle.com is where I built my website. If you do not have a website in this day and age, you are losing. And I'm saying that respectfully. Have a .com. Go here. But Bandzoogle, you actually can get a discount on your monthly if you are a member of ASCAP. I don't know about BMI. $45. Now that's dope right there. There's the link. You know what I'm saying? $45. I'm on it. I'm on it. This is what the network is all about, man. This is what we do. We teach and we reach, and this is what we do on the AM King show here at the Custom Beat Show. As you can see, the title is Beats and Life Transparently, Techniques, all that. So this is what we do. This is what we do. We reach out and make sure people are in the know, because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of people not knowing. I'm tired of people acting like they can't get nowhere because they don't know. So you gotta start. Yeah. Oh no, the live is gonna be there. The live is gonna be there. You know what I mean? So the live will be here. We keep them up. We don't take none of these down. Facebook tends to take it down after a while. So save the information, screen record what you got to screen record, do whatever you got to do. That's a function that people don't use on their smartphone nearly enough. They don't use the screen record. Screen record some stuff, man. It gave you the opportunity, especially if you got an iPhone. You is tripping if you ain't screen recording something, so you can be in the know. There's information out there. You don't want to lose that information. Screen record it. Open up the Note app in your phone too, and start writing stuff down that way. You know what I mean? So that way you're on the go. Because a piece of paper you can forget at home, but your phone you ain't never forgetting. You're taking that with you wherever you go. So write your notes down in your phone. Refer to them. You know what I'm saying? Always look at things that are going to sharpen your mind. Yeah, I thought about it, but just like everybody else, we need help. It's not like, I would need help with that. We just gotta help each other, man. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Uh, where you may have time to help me run a Patreon, I would definitely welcome it. But right now, with all the stuff that we do have going on, there's very little to no time to set up the Patreon. If you set it up, I'll run it. If you help me set it up, then I can maintain it from there and fit it into my busy schedule. Yeah. But this morning I had some time. I had a good hour and some change. We've been up here for about an hour and some change. And you know what I'm saying? It could be the same thing with anything, though. You know what I'm saying? If you look down here, yeah, we're building a community. And this is how it works. That's how it works, Podge. But if you look down here on the bottom of my screen here, I'll use various programs. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an idea transparently of what I like to use. So we're going to close this for right now. That's saved. You know what I mean? Pen and pad. But down here, I have different softwares that I like to use, but all of these are useful. One that I like to use a lot is Reason. This is Reason. And own your software too, man. Don't use no bootleg nothing. We were guilty of it in our era because we could not afford half of these softwares, but they have made these softwares very affordable. You just got to pick a platform and go in. That's all you got to do. Right now, it's just scanning my plugins because I got some new plugins since the last time I opened this thing, and that's what it will do. But an official copy of a software. This is Reason. Now, Reason, I will show you Reason. Do I have this environment set all the way up? No. But I can do it real quick for you so you can get an idea. Let's go ahead and let's just go to let's go to our audio card. We're just gonna go here. That way y'all can check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. You know what I mean? Check it out. There we go. And y'all tell me if y'all can hear this stuff or not. Let's go to our control surfaces. It's already got me set. You know what I'm saying? It's already some bongos. Yeah, we could put some bongos in there, Podge. Reason was the game changer. This is one of the game changers. If you're not hip to this, I don't know what to tell you. But this thing is mean. Sign Beats. Munich, Germany, checking in this morning. Sign, what's going on? My brother from another. You know what I'm saying? Sign Beats is one of the greats. Make sure y'all tapping in with Sign Beats in his platform. He's over in Munich, Germany right now. It's my brother from Germany. That's my brother for real. You already know. But getting back to this, this is an easy MIDI input. It automatically recognized my MPC, and I can run it in Reason. You know what I'm saying? I can use it as a controller. Now, you look at the screen of Reason might look a little confusing to you. because you're probably here. Let's take the chat out of let's hide the chat. Let's hide the chat for a minute. All right. Hey, good green in the building. What's going on, brother? What's going on? My man Swift. Make sure y'all following Swift, man. Swift is my guy. You know what I'm saying? That brother right there, Brendan Green. Make sure you follow him. Bar Smith. I'm talking about this cat might be one of the dopest MCs that I ever worked with. Hands down. You may not know who he is, but I know who he is. That's my boy Swift. But yeah, back to this. Reason. This is the environment. Down here at the bottom, this is your reason was the first one, sign. Sign said reason was the first DAW I made a beat on. Now, you can't tell us that we all don't have our own special journeys. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Swift. You already know, man. That's 110%. No, not good green beats. It's good green like the green, like the green we consume. Yes, indeed. No, that is Swift from the 900 block crew. You know what I'm saying? Coriopolis stand up. You know what I'm saying? But Pittsburgh, one of Pittsburgh's finest MCs for sure. That's without question. This man got bars. Got bars, and hip hop is definitely Swift, and Swift is hip hop. But yeah. Yeah, so back here on Reason. This is Reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for example, say I wanted to use one of my instruments, I could just take the instruments here and I could drag it and I could drop it here, or I could have dropped it up there. So now you see it in my rack. This is the rack. I'm going to separate it so you can see it better. This is the rack. This right here is the mixer. You know what I'm saying? It can be reattached just by hitting the X. It'll reattach itself. You know what I'm saying? Now, the rack. Let's go back and bring the rack up. This is a rack. This is similar to kind of like when you were in yeah, you got excited. All right now. You already know, Freya. Have a good one. Have a great day today. Yeah, but this rack is similar to like racks that you would see in a studio. Like you walk into them big studios and you see all the racks on the wall and this, that, and the third. Well, that's what Reason's environment is similar to. So you will understand this. Now, in order for me to see that plugin, all I got to do is just touch this VST plugin and you can see it here. Let's go ahead and activate it since I haven't activated it. Let's go ahead and authorize. Yes, it is activated. There we go. So this is Studio Strings. I like using Air Technology plugins. So, you know, let me know if y'all can hear that. Yeah, Studio Strings is a real lovely plugin. If you ever want to try it out, go to Air and get Studio Strings, or get you an MPC and you'll have Studio Strings. So back to the rack here. If I hit the X, it's going to reattach it back to the environment here. Down below here, I can drag all this all the way up. This is just my basic track window in Reason. That's my basic track window. Now over here is like a browser, you know what I'm saying? So I can go to samples, you know what I'm saying? When samples start accumulating here, they will be here. I can, you know, go to specific folders. Like I have a folder already set here for stuff that I have already done in the past. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and go in here and see if we can find something. Let's see what we got here. All right, so there's VSTs that are missing that I haven't installed on this, but this will bring up the project here. Okay, so I use the RX1200 and RX1202, blah, 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 blah. RX1200, if you don't know what that is the SP1200 for this thing. And let me see, built-in devices. Is it here? I don't think I put it in here yet. So, oh yeah, there it is. There it is right there, just so y'all can see it. The 12-bit sampler instrument. I can replace that. And there it is. This is the RX1200. So y'all can see what this is. It's just like an SP1200. You know what I mean? For those who know what the SP is, this is just like the SP1200. You use it with your controller, and you're able to, you know, mess around with those things. And you can get stuff going on in here. You can build your drums in this. You can create as many of these as you like. If you're familiar with SP1200, this is one thing that you can use right here. This is an SP1200 for your computer. It works exactly the same way. Shout out to the guys that put this together, Mphonic. They put this thing out. You know what I'm saying? There is an emulator for the old MPC 2000 XL as well. I have that. I just haven't installed it because I use MPC. But the nice thing about that is okay, let's go ahead and let's just do a new one. We can close this one. Nope. We'll close this one out too because we got our thing here. So I can add a track from here, or I can go back to my instruments tab. And as you can see in the Akai Professional, there is MPC. So if I drag MPC in here, I can drag MPC in here, and then I can utilize it within the software. Now, how does it pop up on this one? This is not going to pop up as the one that you just witnessed, but it's going to open up the original. It's going to open up. It said there was an error there. So we got to reboot it. Got to reboot. But yeah, as you can see, this is the MPC. This is the earlier generation MPC software. This is 2.15. And that's what pops up when you use one of these other DAWs. This is an older version of Reason too. So, and the new MPC is in beta mode, so it's not available as a VST instrument just yet. But now, my MPC is assigned to it. So if I go back here, so y'all can see, you know what I mean? There it is. It's in the environment's already set up in here. You know what I'm saying? I control my pads, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can do everything that I need to do and utilize this in here. And then I can have the flexibility of having this open in the software. Now, let's make this a little smaller so you can see that it's in Reason. So this is Reason, and this is used as an instrument in Reason. And I can build with the MPC in it. You know what I mean? And you could do that with FL Studio as well. You could do it with a couple of different DAWs. They act like they're virtual instruments. But yeah, this is just Reason right here. And this is a good software. It's one of the ones I like to use. Show you another one here real quick. When I'm spinning, people are like, wow, you spinning? What is that software you're using to spin on the show? Well, it's called Virtual DJ. Virtual DJ is one of the other softwares that I like to use. And let's see, I think I touched it. It should pop up. Yeah, here it goes. There it goes. That's Virtual DJ. Let's skip the connection so y'all can see it. There it is. Virtual DJ. You know what I'm saying? And there you go. And that's, as you can see, it's turntables. You can drag tracks on it here. See, I'm using the mouse and I'm scratching with it. Cue up. sound effects, you know what I'm saying? So you guys get the idea with that. Let's go ahead and quit Virtual DJ. Next one is FL Studio, which a lot of y'all know FL. So I'm going to show you my windows that I have purposed in here. There's the mixer of FL Studio. There's the playlist. I like building things via the playlist in FL Studio. So I do know how to utilize this too. And I do like some of the things that they've done here. So if I click over here, this is going to show me the cloud. Now the cloud has a bunch of free stuff in here that you can access. Okay, so the cloud just got updated. Beautiful. If I want to go into Afro House, so it'll help me preview that. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get our audio set so y'all can hear. Let's go to our primary. Yep. All right. And let's go ahead and play again. So FL Studio gives you a lot of inspiration, a lot of free loops and samples that you can mess around with. You know, premium color bass. Let's preview. Say I like that. Says 150. I can drag that. Oh, okay. We just got to go to the free. My fault. We're supposed to be going to the free stuff. It'll say free next to it. So my bad. We are on the free. Let's go wherever it says free. All right. So for example, anything that says free. Okay, sounds. Let's go to sounds. We can go by sound. It'll tell you what's free up in here and tell you what isn't. Let me see. Discover. Let's go back here. I can also search the sounds too. You know what I mean? I can go by bass. I can go by, instrument, what instrument it is. So say I just wanted to listen to the guitars. It'll show me all the free ones. So say I like this first one, It really sets you up for success in this day and age. So I'm going to drag it and I'm going to drop it right to the playlist here. And it's going to make it loop perfectly to my tempo. You know what I'm saying? So if I go in song mode. I assign a mixer channel to it. So you'll see it loop and it'll be right here. There it goes. Now I can adjust it from here. What if I want to manipulate that? I go to my channel right here. Let's get some of these out of the way. Oop, my bad. As you can see, it's already time stretched. So if I raise the pitch, same tempo, but the pitch changed. I can go down. Let's go 200 down. And you can find where you want the pitch of the loop to be, and you can go from there. But again, it's on my playlist here. There it is. Say I just wanted that part. I could start cutting this up, okay? As long as I'm set to the line, I can cut these via the line. So I just did that. So I'll take parts out. Just changed it that fast. There you go. And that's how you do it. Okay, that just stretched it. So I'm gonna cut it. Watch this. Just put it in everywhere there. Now, if I zoom in here, nice. But I want those to kind of like have a thing. So when this pops up, make this bigger so you can see. Say I want to give that some velocity. So I can grab these in individual. See that? So I'm just gonna make it like build. Let's make this smaller. See? That's a nice thing you could use with the playlist. But yeah, that's FL Studio right there, just to give you an idea. Nice little workflow. And this is one of my classics right here. This is Acid Pro. Acid Pro was the first software that I learned computer-based production on. Still a very powerful tool in this day and age, and I'm glad that the company Magix brought it back. And once I seen it was back, I just said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get it because I know the value of it. This is another thing that I used to manipulate samples in an uncanny fashion. You used to be able to do this like big time. Scanning the plugins in the background. Is it temperamental? Is it temperamental? Absolutely. But this is kind of like how the original thing. I did set these tabs up down here on the bottom to my liking. So my Explorer is here. You know what I'm saying? I can go in here and find samples. Call it up in here. And I can actually pitch shift and change these. So I'm at 120, but let's go back down to about 86. We'll go back to 86. And we'll just bring this in here a bunch of times. We'll bring it up here. We'll bring it up here just to show you that I can change these automatically. I can either go by here by touching here and hitting the plus and minus on my keyboard. And you see it's starting to stretch it. So changing them individually. So maybe I didn't need that much. So I'm going to select the events to the end, delete. I'm going to select all of these on the track, and I'm going to hit copy up here, point it at the next cursor, paste. And we're going to shorten these bars down to 4 bars. That's 4 full bars right there. I'll hit the loop. I don't even know if y'all can hear that. Let's go ahead and make sure this. Yeah, you should be able to hear it. Okay. Dope. And there's a lot of ways you can manipulate sounds, samples, loops, whatever. This was the first loop-based software that I ever encountered. So using loops makes sense, to be honest with you. Using loops makes sense. So say if I go to Cymatics and I find something that's 86 or close to it, let's go to loops. Let's go to full drum loops. All these BPMs are high, so let's go try to find something that is closer to what we're looking for. See if anything is close to the tempo. There we go. That one says 85. So that says 85, but what I can do is I can go to clip properties and switch this. Bring this up so you can see this. I'm going to switch this from a one shot to a loop. It will automatically loop it for me. And then what I do is I just automatically beat map it so it doesn't lose quality, if you will. And then I can just drag that loop out and watch it go. Real easy to manipulate this. Yeah, so that's Acid Pro. I have this other software here. This is Luna. Luna is made by Universal Audio. I do have Universal Audio products. That's how I was able to get Luna. But you can actually get Luna, I think, for free. I'm not quite sure, but it comes with their stuff. And this is just like the other ones. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. I'll call up something that I did in here. Did some live stuff up in here. Okay. So some of the plugins haven't loaded, and that's just because I'm just showing you what this is. Let's just go back here real quick, though, make sure our settings is right. It only works on ASIO, so you won't be able to hear this one. You know what I mean? But yeah, just to show you, this is Luna. So Luna looks the same as the other ones, right? Pretty much they all do the same thing. Of course, there's Pro Tools. And people don't, y'all know about Pro Tools. Y'all know how that works. So, you know what I mean? But yeah. Thank you guys for tapping in. I'm going to holler at y'all in a minute. CustomBeatKing.com. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the AM King Show. Y'all be light. Peace out. Hope you learned something today.